This is a brand new week of Homestand NBA at the Parlay Studios, but unfortunately, nothing has changed for the Toronto Raptors. They stay losing. They are now on a 5-game winning streak. They are topping one of their worst losing streaks of all time. And you know what? Prior to those years, we didn't have Kyle Lowry. We had Kyle Lowry. And this year, we just have Mr. Fred VanVleet, Pascal Siakam, OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes to rely on. And you know what? At any given time, what it seems like is 2 of them will be injured. And the rest will be falling on the bench that Nick Nurse does not trust. And that's exactly what happened last night. We had the Golden State Warriors minus Steph Curry in Toronto. And the Raptors found a way to lose that one as well. The Warriors are just as bad on the road as the Raptors. But somehow they managed to get the win in Toronto, where the Raptors happen to play super well, actually. Guys, I am a loss for words. I need you to break down what happened. I need you to explain everything to me and give me a silver lining if there is one at this point.
Silver lining.
Jordan Poole went off, you guys.
That's silver lining for the Warriors,
not for the Raptors.
No, you know, remember, look, everybody thought the Raptors calling card was going to be defense, 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 defense.
Where's it at?
There is no defense on this team.
No.
Golden State shot, 46% from three-point range, 53% from the field. You're not going to win games like that. Draymond Green had 17 points. If Draymond Green gets over 10 points, you failed as a defense.
It's pain, bro.
JaMychal Green had 15. Klay Thompson had 17, right? The Raptors defense was non-existent. They had let up over 100 points before the fourth quarter.
It was bad.
It was bad. And this is something that comes down to coaching and effort and, like Noor said, trust. Nick Nurse does not trust his depth guys.
Oh, no.
Right? And the guys aren't playing defense.
I don't know where to start. I am a big Raptors fan. I support this team. I want to see them successful. But I am a realist. And I said it. Coming into the year, I found that the expectations for this team from the fans was far too much. I think we saw what they did last year. They made the playoffs, cool. And then they were like, okay, if they were healthy, they would have beat the Sixers, would have done something in the playoffs. That's fine. Okay, you could say that, whatever. But I just did not align with a lot of fans saying, oh, now that we have that year under our belt, 1 year with Scotty, you know, we're going to go second round. We're going to go conference. I never saw it. This is a team, to me, Justin, to me, Noor, I said is a play-in team. Okay? I had that last year. Maybe I was a year early. But this is a play-in team to me at best. And at best, a first-round exit. Why? There's so many problems here. When you're talking about the Warriors, without my guy, Steph Curry, you should not be losing by 20-plus points. At home.
Given their
that's
record
disgusting.
too.
To me, that's disgusting.
Yeah,
that's disgusting. That should not happen. Okay, you're talking about how you have all stars on the floor. Okay, 20-plus from Fred, 20-plus from Siakam. But what did it do?
That's not good enough.
And when you're talking about, I do talk about the shooting all the time, but this was, the defense. The defense was a no-show. And I don't know what it is this year with the Raptors, but I see a lack of energy. I see a lack of effort on that side of the ball. Yes, don't look at the stats and get confused. Because the top 10 defenses in the league, in terms of points allowed, the Raptors are a top 10 defense in that area, okay? In terms of points per game allowed. But that's not what they provide, okay? This is a whole different type of team that just doesn't do it every night. They don't have that high level energy every night on defense. And with that being said, you're not going to win games that way. Okay? You're not going to win games that way. Jordan Poole should not walk in your building and go off like that. Okay? Yes, he gets hot. I like Jordan Poole, but he should not destroy you like that.
When he was sixth man this year, his highlight reel with the Toronto Raptors. That's exactly what it's going to look like.
Yeah, and the other thing, before I get to you, Noor, like, I found that the offense really struggled with the zone. I think that there were a lot of, when I was watching, there was a lot of 1-2-2 sets, and they just lost their way. I think that has to do with maybe coaching as well. What does Nick? There was a lack of adjusting, throughout the game, and I can't. There's just so many things. We'll get to it later. So many things that this team has to do to get away from where they're at, because right now they're in the gutter.
I think you mentioned it perfectly because there's a number of areas the Raptors need to improve on. And you mentioned it last year too. We said, I was on the same boat as you. I was like, okay, barely playing. We'll see what happens. Luckily for us, they made it to the
they
15th.
surprised us.
They surprised everybody out there. But this is a different Eastern Conference. This is a different level right now. There's parity, yes, but that means it's because so many of the stars out in the West got moved to the East. And if the Raptors can get themselves healthy, if they can stay on that course, yes, they might string together some wins in the regular season, but this is that same team that will be a first round exit in the playoffs because you don't have much else to rely on. You just don't. That's the thing. And we can fool ourselves into thinking, well, maybe Siakam will be that guy, maybe Freddie will be that guy. But the truth of the matter is, as great of a season Siakam had at the beginning of the season, you need to be averaging somewhere above 30 points per game for you to be that guy. If Siakam was that guy, he would have scored over the Warriors last night. If he was that guy, we would not be on a 5-game winning streak against the Magic, against the Warriors, against the Kings.
And that Nets loss, we shouldn't have lost that game.
We shouldn't have lost the
start to
Nets
the
game
game
either.
Yeah, they had a good first half.
That was a
They had a
close
good first
enough
half,
game.
and then they lost their way.
The thing with the Nets game, if I may quickly, you're going amazing rant on Pascal Siakam. I am so proud. I am so proud.
No, he's the thing. He's a great player. He's a fantastic player. He always will be. But the thing is, we need to see him for who he is. He's a great number second. He's the best number second on your squad that could ever be. But this, even like I said, even if we figure out our regular season woes right now, what's the point if you're not going to go
I also
far in
think
the
the guys
playoffs?
around him have to help him out, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because he is having a good year. It's just the guys around him. Like,
But
Siakam's
Siakam's still going to be that guy in the
And
playoffs.
that's
though.
what
Like against Embiid, against Giannis.
Personally, I
against
don't
the-
expect that.
Yeah,
I don't.
So that's the thing, and I think in a way it's
yeah.
almost good that you're seeing these things not work out right now as opposed to in the playoffs because you're realizing this roster has a lot more problems
hit a
just
ceiling.
beyond the depth,
There-
just
yeah.
beyond the beyond the
Vision
stars.
6-9. It's
And
over.
at that point, you got to ask yourself: the trade deadline is approaching. Okay, February 15th, I believe, is going to be the date for that. We know there's going to be a bunch of guys available this year. It obviously depends who's willing to come to Toronto. It's a big factor when you play for a market like Toronto. But we still have guys like Masai, Bobby, and Nick Nurse who are running this squad and who are respected league-wide by everybody. What is it that they need to do to get this team on a different gear now?
You guys mentioned the game on Friday, right? That was the perfect example to me that there's levels to this game of basketball. The Brooklyn Nets have two guys that are a level, maybe 2 levels above anybody in the Toronto Raptors, right? Maybe three. Kyrie
Those are
Irving,
Hall of Famers,
whatever you want to say about Kyrie Irving, whatever you want to say about
Kyrie's
Kevin Durant,
balling right now.
the
Put
way
some
those
respect on
when
his name.
those two guys are playing at their best, nobody in the league can stop them. The Toronto Raptors, when they have their players playing the best, people can stop them. That's the simple
battery
And
alley.
you know
simple
why?
thing.
I think the major factor of
kinda
that
funny.
is ball movement. If you have seen Raptors in the prior years, nobody was able to stop
you
them
mentioned
because
it.
you had the ball moving
Yeah.
quite often. Now, your only offense is transition.
They run
offense.
ISO ball. They run ISO
They have
ball so
nothing
much
else.
Doesn't
because
work.
they don't
Fred's
have the
holding the ball until the very last second and
the
not
Raptors
passing it.
don't
It's just
have-
not.
The Raptors don't have the players to run ISO ball. If you have Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, you have LeBron James, you have even Anthony Davis, you have a Giannis, you have a Ja, you have these guys. You could run ISO ball.
Trey.
You don't have anybody like that. You can't run ISO ball.
Yeah.
So what? Going back to the original, what should the Raptors do? Everybody's now on tank for Wembanyama, right?
Or Scoot.
Or Scoot. Honestly, just start selling off, sell off Fred, sell off Gary Trent Jr. Try to acquire assets. Try to get enough capital, whether it's prospects, draft picks, or contracts that you can move off of, so you can bring in a star, a guy who might not want to come to Toronto, but has years left on his contract, and he has no choice but to come to Toronto, right? So that is what
Kevin
Masai.
Durant.
He's not
Could have
coming
been.
to Toronto.
I know, could have been.
But
Could have been.
Kevin Durant's again levels. There's different levels.
No, but
Kevin
I'm saying if
Durant.
Scotty was available for that little kind of trade,
Did you
there's
guys
a
want that
chance.
to happen?
At this
'Cause I
point,
did.
at this
Not even
point,
now.
yeah,
Hindsight
I'm
20.
ready.
No, whoa.
Yeah,
we
now
should
you're ready.
rewind the film. Remember,
Yeah.
she like
Pull up the tape.
pull up the tape from before.
But I
Pull up the tape
wanted
from
that
before on her.
deal, but he's Kevin Durant for
He's
crying
Kevin.
out loud.
I remember I said that 20,000 times on one episode.
Kevin Durant.
He's Kevin Durant.
Well, he
Kevin
does
Durant.
bring locker room problems, but you know what? At this
Bro.
point, I'd rather see my locker room on fire
I
if
don't
it
know
means
what-
no more 5-game losing
Nah,
streak.
it's
But
just-
okay,
it's
I think
all
what
over the
we've
place.
also realized is that like what we definitely need more than anything else, obviously a superstar, obviously depth, but we need to get a proper center. You need to have a backup point guard, even an actual point guard, so Freddie is allowed to be able to play shooting guard, because we've seen he thrives so much better in that catch and shoot role, where if he's holding the ball, the clock is running down until the 5-second mark and the ball is still in his hands. And, you know, for the most of the part, if he's going to be driving it in, that's going to be a missed shot in the layup. It's not going to go in. Or a block, exactly. So the Raptors, please, if you're listening, let's do something. Yeah, we need to get someone who's consistent as well. I don't want to think, oh, is Gary Trent going to have a good night tonight? We'll find out. Let's see what happens.
Gary Trent's gone.
But speaking of tonight, we do play against the Philadelphia 76ers. Mr. Joel Embiid, who's having a marvelous MVP season. The last 5 games, he's averaged 33 points. Against the Raptors already this season, he's at 31 points. James Harden is back, averaging about, I believe he's at 27 points right now. Actually, 27 against the Warriors. He's averaging 23 over the last 5 games, but he has 12 assists. So this team needs him, and he's passing that ball to make sure that Embiid ends up being open for his 30-pointer every single night. Can the Raptors stop them tonight?
No. Quick answer is no.
And you saw, we talked about a couple weeks when they're struggling. They need to feed Joel Embiid to get better. That's what they're doing. They're feeding the big man, and they've been playing a lot better basketball. And you see that photo on the screen right there? All those guys surrounding him. It's going to take 10 guys from the Raptors. If Nick Nurse even plays 10 guys to stop the Philadelphia 76ers and Joel Embiid.
It is a stretch where it's going to get ugly. Because not even this game, look at the schedule. Look who the Raptors have up next. It's going to get ugly. And I think it continues tonight because Embiid is balling, like you said. Okay, this guy's putting up 30 every single night. And I think one thing that we have to watch out for tonight is the pick and roll. The Raptors do not like playing good pick and roll defense. I don't know why. It's just non-existent.
They don't like
to play defense.
So I think the pick and roll is going to be a factor tonight. I really just hope that the defense shows up. I need to see more effort. I need to see more energy on that side of the ball. Okay, because usually when we do play the Sixers, we do kind of at least try to make it tough on Embiid, right? Now, if you do make it tough on Embiid, who else is on the floor for the Sixers? They have multiple parts that could hurt you.
Maxey,
so
Harden.
Maxi's off right now, I think.
Maxey's injured.
Tybalt will be playing there. Harden's on.
I'm looking specifically at James Harden. I think James Harden's gonna have impact tonight. So we'll see what the defense has in store, but I mean, offensively, again, what do I say?
We could be, guys, hitting a 6-game losing streak tonight. If the Raptors want any chance, this is all you got to do tonight. Please just try to stop. It might not be enough, but at the very least, show us some defense. This might be the way Jelani said the next couple of weeks for the Raptors going into the new year could very well just be. We might not win a single game until 2023. There's a solid chance of that. So please, let's start by tonight.
Nah, that'd be pathetic.
I might have to go Celtics full-time. I'm super sorry. I'm gonna have to be a full-time bleed green.
Are you kidding me?
Hashtag Marcus Smart. Hashtag King of the North.
Running from the grind,
Running
from the grind.
Kill me. We'll see you next time on Sand. Take care.